It just sounds crazy to me. I mean, everyone uses the internet for their own purposes. Why would anyone want to shut it down? I mean, what you do want to do is attack certain infrastructure like a power grid, which we've seen happen, Wall Street, financial transactions, and so on. You want to use it selectively, don't you? I mean, shutting down the internet doesn't help anybody. It certainly doesn't help us cope with any attacks. So it doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
Okay, Charles, if I can go to you.
Maybe there's a logic somewhere that's missing me.
Well, no, but maybe there is a logic, and Charles is a novelist on spy novels. Maybe he can give us the logic. Why is this idea being proposed? Because it seems absolutely ridiculous to me. Is it just to, you shut down the internet and you're secure? You could be just the opposite. If you shut down the internet, you could be completely vulnerable because you don't know what's going on. So I don't understand the logic behind it.
The logic is probably the very basic logic that law enforcement agencies, espionage agencies, they like to have as much control and as much information as possible at any one time. I remember when I was researching Typhoon in Shanghai, I was in my hotel bathroom with a 24-hour news channel on next door, and it was piping the sound into the bathroom, and it was rolling absolutely fine, and then suddenly somebody said Tiananmen Square, and it just shut down. There was somebody in Beijing with a chicken switch, hit it, and that segment of the program was lost. And so there'll always be, in certain environments, a degree of censorship, and you're just taking this idea, this chicken switch, this kill switch, is taking that to the next level. Governments like to have control. I mean, I guess that's the thinking behind it.
Okay, Mikko, if I can go to you. I mean, what should we be doing? What should governments and companies be doing that they're not doing now to fight all kinds of cyber crime, cyber terrorism? I mean, are we going in the right direction? Or, again, with this master switch thing, I mean, it seems rather fanciful. You could shut down everything. What would that really accomplish? And can you turn it back on? I don't know. But what direction should we be going in?
Well, we have practical problems, and then we have theoretical problems. And cyber terrorism, online warfare, those are theoretical problems. Those are hard to solve. Then again, we don't actually have real-world problems right now. The real-world problems right now are in the world of online crime and also online espionage. And online crime, of course, is by far the biggest problem. These are the online gangs that make millions of dollars by stealing people's credit card numbers and accessing online bank accounts. And that really is the main problem we should be fighting first. If we can solve that, it would be much easier to fight other problems. And this is a global problem where governments across the board can work together. Obviously, governments aren't very interested in working together to fight espionage, state-sponsored espionage, because that's what they do themselves. But online crime is a global problem, and countries should be working together. And I've been suggesting things like Internetpol, like sort of the online equivalent of Interpol, to fight online crime internationally, specifically just online crime. Because right now we don't really have a mechanism to share this information between local law enforcement across the world.
Okay, if I can go to you, Jeff, here. I mean, is the United States, Mikko makes a very good distinction, between crime and then terrorism and things like this. Do you think this approach with the NSA and other things that the U.S. government is doing is just one size fits all, or are they being specific enough at looking at different tasks? Again, because this NSA program, this perfect citizen thing, it seems like it's a very blunt weapon. It should be. Do they have more sophisticated weapons in their toolkit to deal with different kinds of issues?
Well, we're still sorting out here who's responsible for what, and there's a big bureaucratic battle been going on here for years, actually, for a decade, and we've just appointed really a cyber czar, as he's called, and still there are pockets like fighting crime, which NSA is not going to have a responsibility for. There are elements in the Treasury Department, the FBI, other places that each have competing interests and want a piece of the bureaucratic pie and the budget to fight their own particular battles. So I think we are still a long way from having any really integrated cyber threat response. It's just, it's still in the making here.
Okay, I'd like to go to Charles. Last word here. What's your next novel going to be about? Is it going to be about cybercrime, or is it going to be about old-fashioned spies?
My next novel is called The Trinity Six. It's actually about the Cambridge spies. The idea is that there was a sixth Cambridge spy who was never discovered and is still alive and living in England, age 91, making mischief.
Okay, I can see it's your fault that we have these old stereotypes about spying still hanging around. Many thanks to our guests today, Jeff Stein, Charles Cummings, and Mikko Hypponen, and thanks to our viewers for watching us here at RT. See you next time, and remember, Crosstalk rules.